Hello, legends, and welcome to War Machine Returns Week. The Stradbroke winner's back, Blake, but I have been told that it's not always about me, and there are 4 Group 1s to talk about this weekend. But Stradbroke winner back, that's exciting.
War Machine. What a horse.
What a horse, hey?
Yeah, you got
War Machine, Storm in the grand final. It's all happening in...
They're looking for an Everest slot with War Machine.
There was talk, whether or not, who knows? They might pick one up. If they win the Gill guy, I reckon they'd probably be more likely to have got a slot if they went to Sydney for the premiere, which they nominated for. But yeah, Stradbroke winner's got a good record, so who knows?
Well, Lloydo, I'm going to be relying on you a little bit today. I'm a little bit behind on my form. So what race is he in? Is he in the Gill guy?
The Gill guy, yeah. I think it's the race 9 at Flemington.
Flemington
so
race 9.
Got the big
War
top weight.
Machine.
Be interesting to see him back.
He's won a few in a row now.
Yeah, well,
3 in a row.
3. Should have won first up last prep.
Yeah, so definitely interesting to see him return.
See how good he is. But yeah, we've got 4 Group 1s to get through this week, Beach. 3 at Randwick. Big day. It's probably the biggest day, I suppose, maybe outside of Everest Day now, because the Everest sort of takes the cake in Sydney. But 3 Group 1s, Epsom, Flight Stakes, the Metrop, all at Randwick. And we've got the Turnbull, which is an absolute cracker down at Flemington on what is known as Moving Day.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favourite days of the year.
Yeah.
Epsom, Metropolitan, great races to bet in. Epsom,
Yeah.
not so much this year, but we'll get onto that. Turnbull's going to be a good race.
It is.
It's a hard one to dissect.
Yeah, there's a lot of different angles. And I like the sort of what's different about the Turnbull is the fact that it is set weights and penalties rather than your weight for age. So it's the same sort of group of horses often coming through the Memsey, Mackay Diva, Underwood, but different race conditions. So a few of them in a little bit better at the weights and whatnot. So yeah, I love the Turnbull. We'll talk about it a little bit later, obviously, but it's been a good race to follow the last few years.
It'll be a cracker this year. It's a good race, but it is an interesting one given the fact that it is set weights and penalties, and it's not grand final day for many of the horses that contest it.
Yeah.
They've all got
Bigger
different
fish
paths,
to fry.
bigger fish to fry.
We do have the current Cox Plate, Caulfield Cup and Melbourne Cup favourites in the Turnbull.
Yes.
So that, it's going to be a big indicator. I think 3 of the last 5 Turnbull winners have gone on to win either Cox Plate, Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup. So
Yeah, we're going to find out some more, aren't we?
we're going to learn a lot. But before we get into this weekend's races, Beach, last Saturday and Friday night, we had the Menacado on Friday night and the Golden Rose on Saturday. Bavoct, elite 108 rating on his weight for age performance rating. That's right up there.
Yeah, you don't see it very often.
No, is that a bit of a... How are you treating that going forward? Because now he's clear favourite in the Coolmore Stud Stakes. They sort of indicated that they're going to skip the Everest with him and just target that 3-year-old Group 1. And do you say, yep, deserving favourite, or do you sort of tread with a little bit of caution? Is it a bit of a unicorn rating? That
It could be, but he's obviously, stamped himself as a very good horse. So we know that now. I couldn't see him... I liked his last start performance before he'd come out and exploded, but I couldn't see him turning the tables on the likes of Tempted. And when she landed in the spot that she did, and I was like, get in the queue, this is all over. But he let down hard. He was just
he did it both
too
ends
good for
too.
them. I haven't, to tell you the truth, I haven't reviewed the meeting, so I don't know what to do with it yet, and I haven't looked at the sectional data or anything like that. But the number that he's put up is a big one, fat one, and you don't see that very often. You have to be good to put up a number like that.
Yeah, I think like you mentioned, like I'd give, if we were doing Brownlow or we had the Dally M medal last night, like I'd be giving 3 votes Ethan Brown for that ride on Tempted. I know it was a losing ride, but you don't get better rides from that gate. It
was a cracker. I expected something of the sort.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were thinking that they were just going to go back to last.
Yeah.
But he put her into the race, landed in front of, key dangers.
Yeah.
So, that was a winning, that was a that was it deserved to be a winning ride.
Yeah.
It was that good.
It was.
Very good ride.
It was a very good ride. The Friday night meeting, I know now you were at Kevin Hart, which I don't know if we spoke about it on the podcast that didn't get recorded last week because we didn't have Sam's mic plugged in. And then I don't know if we talked about it after that. But you were at Kevin Hart on Friday night in Sydney, and it was a no phones event. You had to lock your phone away, so you didn't get to watch any of the races. But
No.
have you caught up at all, or
I've watched the replay.
You've watched the replay.
I logged in to see the bloodbath because I did have something small on Lady Shenandoah, but yeah, she was disappointing.
Yeah, I thought so. That Waller doesn't seem to play the disappointing card.
It's an easy run to forgive.
Yeah.
It's an easy forgive run.
Yeah.
But she wasn't the best of the closers.
No.
But she had a tough run.
She did. And she never looked comfortable. Like, if
She-
you were on her,
yeah,
you would have...
she looked like a crab.
Yeah. Yeah. You were
So,
never confident.
I was never confident.
The winner, Charmstone. How's this for a story? It's not so much a... I wouldn't call it a feel-good story because Yulong were the lucky bidders, and I don't think Mr. Zhang needs any more dollars in his skyrocket, but a 10% share in her went up for sale last week on the English Digital, and Yulong picked her up for 300,000, that 10% share on Wednesday. 2 days later, wins a Group 1, I think million to the winner of that Group 1, or 1.2 to the winner maybe. So in front just about, or not quite, but like you get
They
it
will
back,
be
plus
in
your broodmare residual value when they sell her. But now Skybird, who was in the English slot in the Everest, pulled up lame. So they've given her the flick. The connections have said we're not going to be ready. So English are now looking for a slot.
It'll be Charmstone.
It has to be
think
Charmstone.
so?
She's not a English yearling, so that could be the only little thing that they go, we don't want to give Magic Millions a plug, but like that would just be the perfect
a good
free
story.
advertisement for English Digital,
They
isn't
don't
it?
have
Like,
to. That the Magic Millions thing wouldn't be the storyline.
no,
So it would be the last. Like she's just been sold on English,
Yeah.
so it's sort of it is a perfect narrative for them.
yeah,
And she is a fresh is best horse.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
should be 3 weeks
So
between.
she's going to. Is it 3 weeks to the Everest? Is it?
Well, from last week, 2 weeks from this
Yeah.
week. So
I'm sure that's fine for her.
yeah,
So, yeah, I'd be surprised if they don't give her the slot.
yeah, it'd be fitting. Be hope for us all. Tried to get Sir Carter or Captain Eagle, one of my English Digital purchases, in their slot, but
No,
no,
they didn't
that
want
Bow
any part
Desert
of it.
form not quite up to the mark. But let's get stuck into it. We're going to start with the big one in Sydney. I think the Epsom, Blake, 1,600 meters over the famous Randwick Mile, $1.5 million race. So a lot to like. But I was going through a few previous winners and reminiscing, I suppose, on previous editions of this race, and this year it just feels like it's fallen off a little bit because in the past we've had the likes of Gunsind, Superimpose, Shogun Lodge, Desert War, won back-to-back for Gabe back in early 2000, Racing to Win, Winks, Happy Clapper, Hartnell carried a top weight, broke the track record when he won it. So this year, only 14 horses, not even a capacity field. We've got Lord Penman, an 86 raider, Magneteer, an 89 raider, safely in the field. What's the go? Are they just running scared of Autumn Glow, or has PVL, with all these big prize money races in New South Wales, sort of killed off the Epsom a little bit? Because we've got, I think it's the Alan Brown might be worth $3 million next weekend or something like that.
Potentially, it's a combination of both, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's very good. They've stamped this race from a long time out as her grand final.
Yep.
And she's gone bang, bang and looked really good in each of them. And other horses have plenty of options now.
Yeah.
So you've got what was potentially going to be the shortest price favourite we've seen in a long time. Probably Winks wouldn't have started. Winks, I think she started 2-1 or something.
Yeah, well, it
when
was.
she won an
I think it
Epsom.
might have only been her, like, second Group 1 win the Epsom. Like she won the Queensland Oaks, and then the Epsom as a 4-year-old. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
she wasn't really established by any means at that
No.
point.
So you're going to have a dominant favourite in this, and as you said, there's a lot of options. There's so many $1 million races around now. But I don't think the Epsom's dead. It's one of the best races.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite races of the year. Not so much this year, but if there are a few horses in the race that could put themselves into that history that you just ran through and they wouldn't be out of place.
Yeah.
So one of those is Autumn Glow. But yeah, it's an interesting
Probably
race.
Chow Wolf, another that like the chance to go back to back in an Epsom.
Yeah, Chow Wolf, he obviously wouldn't be out of place. Pericles, he's not a Group 1 winner yet.
No. But he's gone awfully close.
But he's a very good horse.
Yeah, I think beaten less than a length in back-to-back Doncasters.
Did he run super in a
Golden Eagle? Yep.
So,
he got nailed by Oban Burumai.
Yeah, so he's a deserving winner of a Group 1, and then you've got a horse like Willie Do It. So
yeah,
he's a Group 1 winner.
Yeah, he is.
New Zealand Derby with a new camp.
Yeah, asterisk.
So yeah, an NCAP, he should have won a Doncaster.
Yep.
They went very close in the Doncaster. So yeah, it's still a good field. There are some outliers in the field that it wouldn't be fitting to see them win an Epsom, but
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I think I feel like the race it needs to be 20 of our best milers. You know what I mean? Like the Doncaster still has that. I feel like the Epsom the last few years has dropped off. I know like Chow Wolf won it last year. The year before it was like top ranked in Ellsberg, dead heated. Like I wouldn't call them, champions. I guess that's what the handicap does, though. It brings those sort of horses into it. But yeah, I just feel like
we backed Chow Wolf last year, so I
did,
have fond memories of the race. I'm just going to go back and have a look at it. Last year's edition, Epsom. Tom Kitten ran second, Royal Patronage third. So there was 20 runners last year. It was a good field. I'm just waiting for my...
Maybe they're just... maybe they are just running scared of Baby Winks, as a lot of people are calling her, Autumn Glow.
Oh, well, that's a fair rap, isn't it?
Is,
Kovalika ran well in an Arctic Glamour. My Oberon, apparently I think he
passed
died
away during the week.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. He was a good horse.
That's a shame. He was
good wet tracker.
He was a good horse, but yeah, it seems that the cream rose to the top last year with Chow Wolf, Tom Kitten, Royal Patronage, and Kovalika, first four home. So, yeah.
This year, Autumn Glow, she's the obvious one to beat. You like her? You think she'll win?
It's an interest. It's not a race that I'm going to be having a bet at this stage.
Yeah.
They're pushing her out. What price is she now? $2.25, $2.30 available. She's a star.
Yeah.
And this is grand final day, but that is a sticky draw.
I've got a little stat on the draw, which I'm just going to pull up.
I think Chow Wolf won from 14 last year.
Possibly, yeah. So Dean Watling posted on X.
But 14 wasn't the outside draw last year.
No.
So I guess they're going to push forward, but they're not going to be seriously aggressive on her.
Yeah.
McAvoy
I think just keep sliding and just...
McAvoy will look for a back to follow, potentially on that 3 wide line, but it's a really awkward draw.
Yeah. So Dean Watling's tweet here in regards to sort of Epsom barriers and winners in the past, I suppose, 10, 15 years. So Secret Admirer drew 16 and 1, Boban from 10, He's Your Man from 10, Winks from 12, Haraki from 10, Hartnell from 10, Colding from 12, Probabile from 15, and Chow Wolf from 15 last year. So it's not end of the world sort of stuff.
I think that I don't think it's relative though, to tell you the truth, because this is a 14 horse field.
Yeah.
So what did they run 16? Did they?
I think 20 potentially.
20. They run 20.
I think they can run 20.
No emergencies.
Maybe.
Well, last year I had it up before. Yeah, it seemed like 20 run last year. So that's a 20 horse. Like drawing 14 of 20 is better than drawing 14 of 14.
Yeah.
So, McAvoy's got some work to do. I would have tipped against her if Pierre had drew a gate.
Yeah.
He
exploded at the mile up in Queensland over the winter.
But they put him into the race.
Yeah.
So it would have been a very similar scenario as what they've done here. He's chased her home. He gets a nice little weight swing on her for that performance. But he just draws to go back. Pericles was really good winning first up for the new stable, but he's not in well at the weights. Willie Do It was really good first up, closing from the back, given a negative ride, so he can land closer here. He's had a nice tick over trial.
The one I'm interested in. I don't think he's going well enough to win, but on probably the futures predictions podcast that we did maybe a month or 6 weeks ago, like Swift Falcon was the horse I made a bit of a case for. I don't like his first up run. He was okay. He got warm late, and then he just completely forget about his run in the Cameron. I think it was pilot error at Newcastle.
Do you think he would have won?
No,
I don't think he would have won.
I don't think he would have won.
I think he was going that good.
No, I think he should have
gone...
finished a lot closer.
Agree.
And maybe if Tyler had have made a different decision earlier on in the race, he might have been able to win, but like from where he was. So I'm inclined to forgive him for that bad run, but while he has run in all those good races as a 3-year-old, he didn't win any of them. So I probably need to see him win a race before I could go tipping him in an Epsom like this. But he's drawn a lot better. And Alicia Collett, I think I backed her 1 year in this race. I reckon she rode Arameo.
Yeah, she did.
And got nailed by Private Eye. So maybe a little bit of redemption for Alicia.
Yeah, well, she's a Group 1 winning jockey in waiting. I didn't watch the Cameron live.
Yeah.
And I heard all the talk about
a lot of
a train wreck, et cetera, and then I got it out and watched it, and it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be.
No.
So I think potentially a lot of people were talking through their pockets, and yes, he didn't have much luck, but I expected it to be
a lot worse.
I expected to watch it and go, he should have pissed in.
Yeah.
Like, he clearly should have won.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really make a case to say that. He 100% would have won that race. But, yeah, not a race that I'm having a bet in at this stage. I wanted to back Pier from a better draw. Willie Do It can improve sharply from what he did first up. So, Pier and Willie Do It are the horses that I'd be looking at. But if Autumn Glow gets a good ride, she probably wins.
Yeah. For the punters out there, I wouldn't be shocked if Autumn Glow is a promo horse come Saturday, and bookmakers are happy to take her on. Keep an eye out on the Punters HQ on our website as well for any Saturday promos and whatnot if bookies are taking her on. But what price would you want to chime in if it became available to back her?
I don't know.
You just wouldn't back her at all?
Well, I would back her.
Yeah. Like 350, do you have something on her?
350 would be a good price.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd let her get...
No.
She doesn't...
It'd have to be a promo to be getting that price, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think that she probably will be the tab promo.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's an easy one to have a crack at. This is her first go at a mile.
Mm-hmm. She was $1.30, $1.40 in the flight stakes on this day last year.
Yeah, and she came out.
Came out.
Outside draw, she's going to need a good ride, but she is clearly the best horse in the race.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think you'd get any better than 6-4.
No,
really.
I like her. I think she'll win. Yeah. Just bet. Multi.
Bet up. Take the 6-4.
Yeah.
The BTSP.
Yeah.
I think she'll probably... they have to take her on to some extent, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's hard to beat.
We're going to jump down the highway and go to Flemington for the next one, and we'll look a little bit more in depth at the Group 1 Turnbull Stakes. So 2,000 metres at Flemington, set weights and penalties as we touched on, and sort of like I mentioned, we do have the Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate and Melbourne Cup favourites at this stage anyway, lining up on Saturday in Via Sistina, Sir Dilius and Half Yours. Elite on a roll for this race, just even since the what do you call it, the turn of the century, 2000. We've had Sunline, Maccabi Diva, Efficient, Zipping, Happy Trails, Hartnell, Winks, Very Elegant, Incentivized, Gold Trip, and last year Via Sistina. There's a lot of past and subsequent Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate, Melbourne Cup winners amongst those.
Yeah, this is a race that plenty of champions win. So yeah, excited to get watch them go around on Saturday. It's a race that I don't really want to have a bet in, to tell you the truth. It's not grand final day for Via Sistina, yet she was able to win this race last year on her way to the Cox Plate. Waller will want her to bounce back from that performance in the Maccabi Diva, just as she did last year. She draws low. We've seen it all before. I think she drew low in the Queen Elizabeth last year.
Yeah. One of them she drew low in.
That was a concern, but like James is going to be aware.
She drew low in the Wink Stakes first up.
She did.
They got off the fence a little bit.
Yeah,
though.
but I don't think that that.
Or maybe she drew wide and she drew low in it the year before or something like that.
No, I think she potentially drew low in it this year. She drew one in it this year. She drew one in the Ramvet and she drew one in the Queen Elizabeth this year. Yeah. So she's had some
bit of luck.
Oh, she's drew one in 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the last 5. And the outlier is last start when she drew 2. So she's been drawing.
Some people can't draw barriers to save themselves.
She's been drawing the plum alleys. Obviously she is the best 1.25 mile horse in the country. So I think that $2.50 is fair.
Yeah,
for her. She's going to be very hard to beat, and obviously she potentially will need to navigate some traffic. Half Yours, that was an outstanding win last start, and it stamped himself as the horse to beat in the Cox Plate. So
Caulfield Cup,
that's correct. What do they do here? Does he come back slightly off that performance, or does he stamp himself as potentially a future like Wait for Age star?
I think he's the best 1x3 play in the country on Saturday.
Yeah, well, $10.
Yeah,
I think that's a good price.
I think that's a great price. Like I know you're very keen on Sir Delius from a Melbourne Cup perspective, but I thought like 1,800 was still too short for him in the Underwood, and he got the job done, and he's probably going to be a lot more suited at Flemington up to 2,000 metres, but I think the draw's even... I know he drew wide that day in the Underwood, but I think the draw's even stickier for him in this race. So I'm sort of want to be against him a little bit. And then that Maccabi Diva Stakes, like I just don't see it being a great platform into a Turnbull, just off an absolute walk that Aliana, Antino and Via Sistina all come through. Whereas Half Yours, he was 1,500 to 2,000 metres in that naturalism, absolutely kicked their heads in. Now he's had that genuine 2,000 metre run. He stays at 2,000, big track, gets in with 3 kilos less than Wait for Age under the set weights and penalties, and he's just drawn perfect in the 4 alley. They can be intent there to win it because there's no penalty if you win this for the cup. So you're not really risking anything if you do happen to win this. So I can just see him landing first 5 or 6, one off the fence and blend into it and be very hard to beat.
So for your Caulfield Cup ticket, I'm just looking at his form. So it's Turnbull and then 2 weeks to the Caulfield Cup. Is that correct? Would you prefer him to be a month into the Caulfield Cup, or would you prefer him to run here?
Yeah.
Like just looking at his form, so that huge win at Rosehill, remember that day that he was...
took off on him?
Took off early and it was a monster win.
Yeah.
He was 46 days between runs.
Was that only 1,500?
It was 1,800.
1,800.
And then the big win at the Sunshine Coast, he was 3 weeks between runs. So like and then he's come out. He's gone 1,500 3 weeks between runs to 2,000 meters and put up that big performance. Like in his form, all of his biggest performances have been off slightly bigger gaps than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get exactly that point. I think for the sake of Caulfield Cup bets, I'm kind of half in the middle because, I probably would have preferred him be 3 weeks between runs, but also I don't think I would have wanted to have been third up 1,500, 2,000, 2,400. Like, I think I want that extra run under his belt going into what is probably his grand final, whether or not, I hope if he wins the Caulfield Cup, I really hope they go on to the Melbourne Cup. But
they will go on.
Like, there hasn't been much talk about him going to the Melbourne Cup. But
what price is he in the Melbourne Cup?
I think like $17 might be best around. There was a bit of a trim up. He has been sitting 26 for a while since that win. But
if he wins the Caulfield Cup, he's going to start.
You've got to start single figures just about.
Yeah, he'll start first, second, or third favourite.
Yeah.
Aliana's going well.
Yeah.
She regressed slightly second up, even though she was coming back through the line and she wasn't suited there. Getting up to 1.25 miles, you can see her improving sharply.
I thought the one that might have been big price when you compare it to, Golden Path, who I backed in that Underwood. He was good there. Like, he wasn't really a match. Like, I know he was beaten half a length, but like Sir Delius and Buckaroo always looked like they had his measure in the run. But he gets a 3 kilo swing on Sir Delius now.
Yeah, he's in best at the weights.
Yeah, for getting the same $18 while Sir Delius is $5. I know that was a very similar sort of margin between them price wise in that Underwood, but yeah, with that 3 kilo swing.
And there's not great speed. He's just going to put himself in the race. So there are a lot of horses. I know you said that Half Yours is the best 1x3 play on the program, but there are a lot of horses in the race that could potentially fill that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. There's not just 3 hopes. Antino, potentially he could improve third up. Sir Delius that draw is really interesting for him. I'd prefer to see them
stone cold or go forward.
Scratch.
Yeah. Okay.
But maybe, I don't know, mate.
You could go to the Might and Power next Saturday and then be 2 weeks into a Cox Plate.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds very good to me. Maybe they do that.
Yeah.
Because, I guess, he needs to have probably this run and the Cox Plate into him before he goes to the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
So, but he's drawn poorly here, and you wouldn't want to see him have a gut buster because the camp are going to go forward on him. They're not that sort of team that are going to snag him from that gate and let him hit the line.
Yeah.
They're going to put him into the race, and there is a little bit of speed drawn inside him. So, Golden Path's going to go forward. I'd suggest River of Stars. This could potentially be the one that...
the sacrificial lamb? I'm
not saying a sacrificial lamb. I think that she could put a bit of speed into the race here. Potentially going into a Caulfield Cup, they sort of might want to give her a good sound out.
Yeah,
that's what you call it.
Yeah,
I'm not a real musician, but
no.
They might want to give her a bit of a sound out. So yeah, he's got a little bit of work cut out for him from out there. But I think he's a very good horse. He didn't really handle Caulfield last start. He sort of wobbled around the corner and then fought back to win.
He did. He was strong.
He's a line chaser. He likes to win. So
he does.
I still think that he's the Melbourne Cup horse. I think Land Legend is a sneaky Caulfield Cup horse.
Yep.
I was thinking that he was potentially the Metropolitan horse. I know that I tipped him in the futures, but they don't go to the Metrop. They go to a race that he potentially can't win. Third up, he's had sectional merit in both his runs so far this campaign. They're going to go back from the draw here, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's the flashing light horse and we all sort of want to be on him in the Caulfield Cup outside of half yours.
Yeah.
So I have a ticket on him at $51 in the Caulfield Cup, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah. He ran second in it last year, third?
He ran
Or he ran fourth, maybe.
third or fourth,
Yeah.
I reckon. But he over-raced badly.
That's right.
And I think Waller's got him.
Yeah.
I think Waller, he's settling better in his races.
Yeah.
And
which is always going to be the key for any sort of stayer.
yeah,
cup
well,
horse,
that was always the question for him last
Yeah.
year, because it was a huge run from him in the Caulfield Cup, and then they pressed on to the Melbourne Cup, and that was the question, whether or not he could settle in a race like that.
He seemed to do that with another horse that won a few good races, Very Elegant.
Yeah.
Remember, she was a nutcase early on in her career, but
Yeah, so I think he's going well, and I think that he's the horse that could potentially go on and run really well again in a Caulfield Cup. But yeah, gun to my head, potentially Via Sistina on top.
yeah, which is fair. She's the best horse in the country. And
She is. She's a good default horse.
yeah, it's not a bad one to fall back on. Barrier 1, James McDonald, Chris Waller.
I hope Sir Delius comes out and bolts in, but
Yeah, well, a few of us will be hoping for a few sort of runs like that, I think. But yeah, like, great race to definitely watch, even if you don't have a bet in the race on Saturday, because it historically is a very important form factor going into the big cups and Cox Plate in a few weeks. Punters, if you're not already, make sure you give the Leg Up a follow on the Betfair app. You can click the link in the description of this video. It's in the bio on our Instagram as well, or you can just search the Leg Up under expert tips on the Betfair app. Daily Black Book tips, the tips from this podcast will be in there. Saturday, I'm going to start calling it a lay of the day on a Saturday.
that's good.
Yeah, clever.
Very clever.
Very, very clever. That's just one of my many talents. So yeah, if you're not following us, do that. Turn your notifications on. It'll just come straight on your phone in the notification center, and you can click there, see what we're backing, laying, all of it on Betfair.
Yeah, we've been flying.
We have been flying. This could be a race to potentially have a few lay bets in. Blake, the Metropolitan, wide open race. A lot of holes in the market, but 2,400 metres at Randwick, handicap conditions, big wide open race. And I'm led to believe we're going to be cheering stablemates that are owned by the same people, wearing the same colours, just different horses. You like Etna Rosso?
Yeah, I think Etna Rosso is the best 1x3 play. I don't play 1x3.
No, this is the best win bet.
yeah. I think he's a terrific win bet. I think he's absolutely flying, this horse. So 1,500 metres first up, he clocked the best last 800 metres of the race, and then he was 21 days between runs up to 2,000 metres. Very fast tempo. So he was well back, spotted the leader 16 lengths at the 800, but he was still going sort of an even tempo. So that suggests how fast they've gone there. But he clocked clearly the best last 800 metres of the race there, and he was doing his best work through the line. His last 800 metres was 5 lengths better than any other horse in the race.
Yeah.
So that
a lot of them didn't, like that fast tempo, a lot of them didn't seem to handle it at all, really, did they? He was one of them, and that was the Kingston Town.
That was the Kingston Town.
6 of the last 7 winners have come through the Kingston Town. So
okay, so it's the right form reference. Last preparation, 2,400 metres behind Campbell-Dino. You'll know this race.
Yep.
He was terrific there. He covered extra ground without cover, and he was still coming through the line. So that was a terrific run. The figure that he produced in that performance would measure up and go very close to winning in this race. And then he ran well in the Brisbane Cup over 3,200 metres. So he's not going to have a problem with the trip. He draws low. He can settle much closer here. And with that last start run, I can't see how this bloke misses a hole. And dropping to 50 kilos on his back, I think that he's the one that I want to be with. Double figure odds. Yes, please.
Yep. He definitely is one of the, I'm going to say 3 winning hopes for mine. I like him. I think he can definitely be right in the mix for all the reasons you outlined. I'm sitting on a nice ticket on the current favourite, so shopped a bit of $41 Soul of Spain early on, so I'm cheering that. But I loved his Newcastle Cup win. He's chasing 5 in a row, so he went out a winner at the end of last prep. It was only a benchmark 78 at Warwick Farm, and then he went first up over the Ipswich Mile, bolted in, got to 2,000 metres at Doomben, kicked their heads in. Then he won that Newcastle Cup last start, which I think that might be the other race that the other winner has come through in the last 7. So, he gets to 50.5 kilos, drawn a nice middle gate. The fast tempo of this race is probably a bit of an unknown because he hasn't really come through any high-pressure races so far, but I love the way he just switches off and relaxes even in those slow races. So if he can do that here and be within striking distance, he's got a good turn of foot, and I think he'll be right in the mix. Zach Lloyd narrowly missed in this race last year too. He rode Zardozi, fired in a protest, still unsuccessful there. So a little bit of revenge maybe for Zachy.
Let's hope not. That's the concern, that he's never been in a fast race in Australia.
Yeah.
He's been in very slow races.
Yeah.
But he has good closing speed.
He
so
does.
if he can do that off a faster tempo, then he's obviously a very good stayer. But yeah, dropping down to 50.5 kilos, he's got a good hope.
Yeah. So they're the 2 main hopes. I think Flying Bandit's a bit of a knockout hope at bigger odds. He was sort of a good close. I don't know if it's necessarily the right race, being only a benchmark 88, but he was only second up there, 16 to 19. So now he's on the 7-day backup, gets to 2,400. He's going to be a lot better suited out over this trip, whether or not this is the right race. But I like the way he kept coming all the way to the line last Saturday. So he's one that I could include. And Wycliffe, I know he might be a little bit past his best because he's a 9-year-old now, but I think all his runs in Melbourne were okay for a race like this, but especially with 50 on his back.
Yeah, no knock.
Yeah, no knock. Got one more race to get through. Punters. It's a little bit earlier in the day at Randwick. It is the Group 1 Flight Stakes for the 3-year-old filly, 1,600 metres. We've got a short price favourite here as well, Apocalyptic, looking to be the 18th filly to win the T Rose and the Flight Stakes. She also won the Furious Stakes, so she'll be going for 3 of the 4 legs of the Princess Series. I think the last filly to win the Princess Series was Samantha Miss back in 2008, so she was a good filly. Another one that's done the T Rose Flight Stakes double, Blake, you might remember this, 2014, filly by the name of First Seal.
First Seal.
Yep. You know who she beat both years?
Yeah, Winks.
Winks.
Yeah.
Fancy that.
She was a star.
Yeah. I don't think we ever really got to see the best of her as an older mare. She might have won. I think she might have won a Group 1 as an older mare.
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah.
I think she might have won an Epsom or something like that.
Possibly something like that. But yeah, she was a cracker. So we might see, well, I don't want to say we're going to see future Winks, but Winks did get beaten in this race. So there's hope for all of these.
Potentially First Seal might be the mum of a good one as well.
Yeah.
But it's not coming to me.
No. I know the one I can think of it.
I think she's the mum of a good one.
I'll try and find it. But can Apocalyptic justify the short price? Is she the one to beat, or are you opening up your Betfair app and clicking the pink button and laying her at the $1.80?
I don't think Apocalyptic is much good, but I don't think the whole group of fillies is much good.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is a year that we're going to want to follow the 3-year-old fillies as we have done last year on the horses that are turning into 4-year-old mares, such as Lady Shenandoah, Aliana, Autumn Glow.
Yeah. Treasure the Moment.
Yeah. I don't think we have the same crop.
No.
She was really good last start. She's 1-2 from 2 this preparation. She did it the tough way last start too. She was wide no cover, and she did prove too good for them. But do I want to dive into $1.80 now in a flight stakes? I know it's grand final day. She draws better. She draws 7, but should be able to find a nice bit of cover from that draw. But I think she's well found in the market, and there were a lot of good runs in behind her, which suggests to me that the race didn't go all that well.
Yeah.
There's not many other options outside of that race, though. So
I think I had a look, and it was maybe seven of her rivals, maybe. So maybe 8 of the 11 come through the T rows. So you're looking at Reflect, who's 70-1, Lighthouse Lass, who's 200-1, and Magenta Skies, who's 17-1 as the 3 different form lines.
Yeah, so different form. I wanted to go looking for different form, but I couldn't find the different form that I wanted to. Magenta Skies is potentially the one that is, we haven't seen the bottom of her yet. We don't know. So she can obviously measure up. But a couple of good runs in behind Apocalyptic. Enviable had 0 luck.
Yeah.
Artistic Venture, although sent around big odds, she was really good. She was taken back from that wide draw, but she did close in the best last 800 metres of the race. Queen of Clubs is the one that I want to be with.
Yep.
She was a big drifter in that race, but she measured right up. She began a little bit awkwardly, ended up out the back. I think she was held up. She had nowhere to go between the 6 and potentially the 175, but when she did get out, she clocked the best last 200 metres of the race. Nash sticks. She lands much closer from the draw.
Yeah, she was a month between runs there as well, while all those other fillies had that run in the Furious as well. So
yeah,
like potential to improve off that.
Yeah, she definitely bounces off that. She lands much closer, and I think that the margin between her and Apocalyptic will at least be narrowed, and at that $9.50 quote, she's the one that I would have my hard earned on.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same with you. I want to be against the favourite, Apocalyptic. I just think she sort of had her birthday in, well, definitely first up, and then, last start she was a bit too good. But yeah, like you say, there were a few good runs behind her. I went looking for the different form as well. I backed a filly all in by the name of Chatterley, who isn't here, so I've done my dough, but she ran second to Magenta Skies. So for my own sanity, I hope that form line's kind of maybe okay. That Magenta Skies can go well, but I've been within the law all prep without actually backing her. Like, I've just sort of stayed out of the races, but she just has had no luck from the barriers. She drew 13 of 13. Second up, she drew 11 of 11 last start, and they've gone back and she's found the line. Now, grand final day, she's finally drawn a gate. She's drawn barrier 2. I think she can settle a lot closer to the speed. She settled much closer when she was beaten 0.2 of a length by Nepotism this track and trip in a Group 1 as a 2-year-old. Whether or not, Nepotism, he's been a bit plain in both runs without being awful. But that's still Group 1 form lines. Before that, beaten 2 lengths by Tempted and Savvy Halley. She's got the best 2-year-old form in the race within the law. Now she finally gets a chance to show what she's got, I think, from that barrier. She's had no chance to win a race really at all this prep. Like, even first up when she was probably the run of the race behind Savvy Halley, she still was conceding fitness to Savvy Halley. She was conceding weight, and she was really good there. So I'm happy to give her another chance. But yeah, I don't see myself having a bet. Just probably potentially lay Apocalyptic at the price.
This race was just crying out for a filly to put their hand up outside of the ones that have come through the Princess series.
We sort of spoke about it, like, I think maybe after the first leg of that Princess series. And we both went looking for that different form. And even in Melbourne, I don't think the fillies in Melbourne are much chop. Like, there wasn't really anything there sticking their hand up. I thought that Vivid Son of Moody's that started favourite in one of those races, I thought maybe she might have been the one, and she got beaten. I thought maybe there'll be something in Queensland. I thought that Sunrays of Kelly Schweeters that ran second to Beedman on the Gold Coast, I thought potentially she might have been one, but she failed first up and they put her away. So, yeah, it's. I think you're right. I think it's a lackluster crop of 3-year-old fillies.
It wouldn't surprise me if Magenta Skies does win it.
Yeah.
So she'll be in my numbers for sure. She'll be in my quaddie.
Yeah.
No, it's not a quaddie leg.
It's not a quaddie leg. You could have an early quaddie.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to have
potentially.
an early
It could be a UPC showdown leg. Should be a bit of value in the showdown.
She would be.
Yeah.
Good idea. I might have a UPC showdown this weekend, considering that we've got 4 times Group 1s.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cracking day. I can't wait.
Can't wait. You haven't had a chance to find a best bet at all. I've got one, and we're going to go to Flemington. And it's a horse that sort of we've been following on this podcast, but on display in race 5 at Flemington. Race 5, horse 4 on display. Big win first up. And then she went to that race behind Lazura. We were on Lazura that day, so we were thankful. But on display, I don't know if you've gone back and watched that replay.
I haven't.
But on display, if she got out, I think she wins. She just went to the line hard held. Now she's drawn barrier 8. Lazura and Like a Lucy were both nominated for this race. Neither accepted. It's just one of those races where you go through it and I just can't see anything else in the race winning it. So I'm very keen that on display just gets the right run in transit, finds clear air, big track at Flemington, third up, goes crunch. She'll be winning.
Yeah, well, I've just had a quick look at that race, and based on, if you forgive last up, based on what she did first up, she should be winning.
Yeah. Odds on chance.
Good find.
Thank you. Yep.
It's okay.
Yep. That's it from us punters. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully, if you're a Storm supporter, you win. Hopefully, if you're a Broncos supporter, the women win for you and not the men.
Why don't you look down the camera and give us the case for why the Melbourne Storm will win the NRL Grand Final?
Munster, Pappenhausen, Grant, Hughes. How's that?
That's good.
4 reasons why Melbourne will win the Grand Final. We rarely lose back-to-back games, let alone back-to-back Grand Finals, Blake. So, but both teams, they've got a little bit of what's the
redemption?
Word? Yeah, like they're the 2 teams to have lost the last 2 Grand Finals, the Broncos and the Storm. So
yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Broncos to win.
Yep.
Payne Haas to get Clive Churchill medal.
Yep. If the grand final was last Sunday, he was $1.01 in play to win the Clive Churchill.
What's old mate in the centres?
Stags?
The other centre.
Shibasaki.
Yeah, I'm going to have him to try scorer.
Cross.
Shiba.
Well, that maybe we put this up on our dabble, like a Broncos grand final same game multi, and that can be it. And then we'll have a Storm one, because I've had identical in terms of result, Clive Churchill anytime. So I've gone Melbourne to win, Ellie Katoa, Clive Churchill, and Will Warbrick anytime.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's a good bet.
Yeah.
What price did you get for that?
I can tell you, because Ellie Katoa was 20-1 to win the Clive. $44 that was paying.
Okay. Well, mine will probably be shorter than that, but
probably. We'll put it up on our dabble. You can copy the bet.
Yeah, I'll do that today.
Yep. That's it from us punters. Go Storm. Might leave it at that. Hooroo.
See you, punters. Go Etna Rossa.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.